Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I'm hoping you're having a lovely day. May love, peace, and happiness be upon you. I go by the name Josh, Joshua, whichever you prefer. It's entirely up to you. And today, we're just gonna dive straight into it, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about the power of having a vision. And to start off with, we're gonna start with understanding what is a vision. What does it mean to have a vision? Well, a vision is the ability to think or plan the future with your imagination or wisdom. A vision gives direction, which gives you destination, and your destination becomes your destiny, and your destiny alternates your reality. You know, a vision gives a reason and a purpose for everything in life. Without a vision, you find yourself with no purpose, and without no purpose, you know, you allow yourself to be distracted with the pleasures of life. You find yourself doing things for no reason. And there's a powerful quote that goes, a man with no purpose distract himself with pleasure. Now pleasure could mean anything. Pleasure could be, you know, getting sucked into your social media, your Instagram, your TikTok, your Snapchat, all of that. Just scrolling through your feeds for hours and hours before you've lost so much time. And anything that keeps you, you know, distracted from your goals, anything that keeps you out of focus from your vision, those are pleasure stuff. And there's a guy that actually there's a guy that I know. This was years back when I used to work in a warehouse, and I remember having this conversation with this guy, and there's something he said that stood out to me. And he was talking about how he's worked in this company for 15 years, and I'm looking at him like, damn, as we're talking, it was, he's looking at this guy. You could tell how physically, mentally drained he is. And as we were talking, he wasn't really feeling well at that time. He didn't. His energy was low. He wasn't feeling well, but he couldn't afford to have a day off because he got bills to pay, he got family to take care of, he got his kids to worry about. He got so much things going on in his life that he couldn't afford to take a day off, even though he wasn't. He knows his body is not feeling 100%. And I just remember looking at him like, damn, this ain't life. This ain't what I want. And it's sad because that's something like a lot of people are actually going through. They allow themselves to become slave to these companies. They allow themselves to become slave to someone else because they have a lack of vision. When you have a lack of vision, that's what happens. You just take in whatever life throws at you, and you have no focus of no direction to where you want to go. And this man allowed himself to become a slave to this company for 15 years, and you could see how that company over the years has continuously drained the life and the joy out of this man. And I felt sorry for him in that time. But this is what happens when we have lack of vision. You know, most of the time we become slaves to someone else. We become slaves to our jobs. And that being said, what we're going to talk about now is how do we produce the vision? How do we take ourselves out of that situation? How do we stop ourselves to become slaves to this company? And how's the vision formed? How do we produce a vision? Well, it's like everything starts just like everything else starts in one place. It all forms in the darkness, and in that darkness, a light spark. And the same thing with our minds. If you want to create something, you have to search deep within your mind, and that little light or spark is the start of a creation that then forms a vision. Your imagination is so powerful; it gives the ability to create the lifestyle that you actually want to live in. I feel like the imagination is one of the greatest gift, given to us by God, for us to have the ability to create whatever lifestyle we wish for. And yeah, that's why I feel like it's so important for us to have a vision so we don't get lost. Keep us focused, keep us in the direction, and allow us to become the person that we all want to be. And the other thing we're going to talk about now is this is something that's not been mentioned a lot. We're going to talk about the triple D. And I know a lot of you might be asking me now, Josh, what you mean by that? What is a triple D? Well, I'm going to explain to you right now. So triple D is 1, distraction, 2, diversion, 3, detraction. So I'm going to say that again. Distraction, diversion, and detraction. So let me break it down for you what this means. So when you allow yourself to be distracted, you have diversion, which then cause detraction, and distraction stopping your attraction. It's stopping your attraction towards the things you want to be attracting, and it's also subtracting your ability to get to where you want to be. So when you're distracted, when you allow yourself to get distracted, you have diversion because now you're out of focus. You're on a different path. Now you're no longer on that straight road to becoming the person you want to be. You're on a different path, which then causes detraction. Now you're on a different track, and you're lost. It's like you're working, but there's no light. You don't know where you go. You just work in a different direction, and you're just taking wherever life sort of throws at you. And when you have detraction now, your detraction stopping your traction towards the things you want to be attracted. So if you have a certain goal of you want to become this person now, but when you're detracting, you're no longer on that path of becoming, let's say your goal is to become a professional football player now. And if you have detraction now, you're no longer practicing, you're no longer playing football like that no more, you're not going practice with the boys no more. Instead, you're out with the clubs, you're out in the club every weekend. Now you have detraction, and distraction stopping the traction towards the things you want to be attracting, which also subtracting your ability to get to where you want to be. A lot of people feel like they have the lack of money problem, but which is not always the case. People have the lack of investing problem because they have the lack of vision, which means they don't know where to put their energy and which direction they want to be focusing. It's like what I was saying earlier on with that example. Imagine like being slaves to this company because you have a lack of vision. So when you get paid, you end up spending your money on pleasurable stuff. You end up spending your money on detraction. So that way, you're always coming back. You're always coming back to this company because you want more money, and they give you, you put in your time, you sacrifice your time, you sacrifice in your life. They give you, little pennies to stay alive, and then you go spend that pennies on distraction. You go spend that pennies, on pleasurable stuff. And this is stuff that it's a system that's designed, to trap us, to enslave us in our own minds. And if you have no vision, you will become slaves to this company. You will become slave to this other individuals. And this is why it is very, very important for us to have a clear vision of who we want to be. When you have a clear vision, it means like no one, when you have a clear, strong vision, it means no one could keep you distracted. No one could tell you otherwise, because you already know who you are, you already know who you want to be, and you got a strategy of how to get there. If you're not in the same path as me, keep it moving, and you just cutting people. You eventually find yourself, cutting people off, cutting certain distraction off, because you have a tunnel vision of the person of who you want to be. And that's why it's so important for us to have, clarity on who we want to be and clarity on what or how we visualize ourselves in the future. Clarity on the type of reality that we want to be living in. And yeah, that'll be all for now, guys. Due to time, I'm gonna have to just cut this video short. But yeah, I just want to talk about, how important it is to having a vision. And we spoke about that, but there is going to be a continuation on the next video. Just stay tuned for the next video. But that's all for now, guys. If you like the video, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what else you want me to talk about. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.